Well, good evening and welcome to Valkyrie Volleyball here on BFST Events on YouTube. James LaFontaine with you here up in Whitefish, Montana. Welcome back to Class A Northwestern A conference matchup featuring the Bigfork Valkyries taking on the big Whitefish Lady Bulldogs here in Whitefish tonight. And running just a little bit behind the earlier matches. I'll give you the rundown on that. In C team, it was the Valkyries losing that one 3-1 to the Lady Bulldogs. On the junior varsity side, after the girls went down, the Valkyries went down 2-0, able to win the next two and force a fifth. Unfortunately, lost that fifth one and lost overall 3-2. So the Valkyries, the varsity, getting ready to take on the Lady Bulldogs of Whitefish as we are back in Class A here this year. So already took care of business earlier, 3-1 over Columbia Falls early in the season. I knew that didn't get a chance to get up here and talk with the head coach, Ariel Stalneck, but hopefully I'll get to talk to her on the post game or post match, if you will, as they say in volleyball. So pregame brought to you by Averill's Flathead Lake Lodge, where they proudly supported Bigfork athletics since 1945. 406-270-7384. You can let me know. Text me out there and give a shout out if you're listening to the broadcast. So overall, taking a look at the records before I give you the starting lineups, we got about 8 minutes till all pregame stuff and get ready to go here for first serve. On the season, the Whitefish Lady Bulldogs are 0-3 overall, 0-2 in conference. For the Bigfork Valkyries, 2-1 in conference and 3-1 overall. That one loss was to Ronan, 3-1, and that was a while back. So as the Valkyries in their black uniforms with blue numbers and lettering white outlining that warm up here. And Whitefish, Lady Bulldogs, will be in green with yellow numbers and then white sleeves and white trim on the side for this match. So once again, back in Class A for Bigfork. They were able to take care of business after losing Saturday to Ronan. They took care of Libby 3-1. That was on Tuesday. And before today's ball game on the road. So glad to be with you here from Whitefish. Haven't been up here in a long time. So it's kind of fun to get back up here. Class A, learning some new kids. I'll be back after this timeout with the starting lineups here from Whitefish, Montana, and as the Bigfork Valkyries taking on the Whitefish Lady Bulldogs from Whitefish, Montana. All right, welcome back to Whitefish, Montana. Valkyrie volleyball action, BFSD events here on YouTube. Thursday night here in Whitefish, Montana, as the Bulldogs get ready to take the Whitefish Lady Bulldogs taking on your Bigfork Valkyries here in Northwestern A Conference action for Bigfork. Hey, starting lineups brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, an amazing bakery, deli, 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork, 837-5010. Say hi to Marcus and Kelly Balgos and Charlotte and the gang at Bigfork Harvest Foods and all those guys there. Thank them for supporting Bigfork High School athletics, both the Vikings and the Valkyries. Couldn't do these broadcasts without them, so make sure you thank them for being a sponsor, as well as the rest of the sponsors. The Montana Athletic Club, Flathead Lake Lodge here for volleyball. And like I said, the starting lineups brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. The libero is a 5'5" senior, number 88, Tessa Troyer. At 5'6", opposite side hitter, the lefty, junior, number 1, Natalie Vick. At 5'7", junior outside hitter, number 3, Ava Davey. Or they say Ava Joe Davey. The captain is a 5'4", senior setter, number 4, Piper Linson. At 5'8", junior outside hitter, number 7, Gracie Sari. At 5'9", middle blocker, number 11, Piper Lee, wearing number 8. And finally, a 6'1", senior middle blocker, number 10, Sophia Lettingham, for head coach Ariel Stolnick, assisted by Josh Feller and Logan Swinson. Manager Tristan Feller and Cheyenne Marchinek. For Whitefish, we'll take a look at, there's their libero, is a 5'7", junior, number 12. Maggie Mercer at 5'8", junior, number 4, Miley Ridgway. A 5'11", senior, number 15, Bailey Smith. At 5'8", senior, number 20, Haley Els. At 5'11", senior, number 22, Brooke Zatuni. At 6 foot even, junior, number 23, Isabella Hartwig. And finally, a 5'9", senior, number 24, Ansley Scott, for head coach Addie Conley, assisted by Breanne Lamping and Angie Scott. Managers Lexi Fanning, Shaylee Green, and Elliot Jennings for Whitefish. We're about ready to get underway here, finishing up just under a minute on the clock, and they're finishing up their warm-ups, and we'll get underway here from Whitefish, Montana. Once again, James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals, here in Whitefish for my first volleyball match of the season. And a lot of new names for me, especially on the opposing team side, but then also for some of ours. A little change from last year, so I'll try to keep up, especially in volleyball. So we'll stay here for, they'll have the anthem, introductions, and all that stuff coming up from Whitefish, and we'll stay right here with that. So Whitefish doing their fight song. Cheerleaders out on the floor performing. Probably be a while that Bigfork probably doesn't know this song. Obviously, we haven't been in Class A for a while, so get ready to get underway here from Whitefish, Montana. Well, they're done performing that. Looks like they're going to get ready for the national anthem. And we'll stay right here with the national anthem and let you hear along with me. All right, about ready to get underway. They'll do introductions, and we'll get underway here from.
And now, let's meet the visiting Bigfork Valkyries. Tonight's non-starters, number 6, sophomore Taylor Howitt. And number 7, sophomore Olivia Claiborne. Tonight's starting lineup, number 1, junior Natalie Vick. Number 3, junior Ava Davey. Number 4, senior Piper Woodson. Number 7, junior Gracie Sorry. Number 8, junior Piper Lee. Number 10, senior Sophia Lettingham. And tonight's libero, number 88, Tessa Troyer. The Whitefish Valkyries are coached by head coach Ariel Stolman with assistance from Josh Miller and Logan Swenson.
All right, we're about.
And now, your own Whitefish Lady Bulldogs.
Well, tip-off will be brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods, or excuse me, Montana Athletic Club. What's keep you from getting fit? Discounted guest passes, personal training, Pilates, 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork, 837-2582. Doug and Nancy Malum and the gang at Montana Athletic Club.
Number 13, senior Navy Miller. Tonight's starting lineup, number 4, junior Miley Richmond.
So Whitefish getting introduced now. And we'll get underway here shortly.
Number 20, she's a senior, it's Hayley Els. Number 22, senior, Brooke Sachungi.
So really senior heavy ridden is Whitefish. I count 1, 2, 5 seniors on the team, and mostly juniors and seniors, and then so 10 total, 5 juniors, 5 seniors for Whitefish. For Bigfork, we have 3 seniors, 4 juniors, and a sophomore. So Whitefish will get the first serve to start this game. And we'll get underway. 406-270-7384 if you're listening out there. Text me, let me know. I'll give you a shout out. Make sure it's coming in loud and clear out there somewhere. Just text me and let me know you guys are catching the broadcast. So conference action for Bigfork. Only 1 loss on the season for the Valkyries. That was against Ronan. So taking care of business against Libby and Columbia Falls. And then 3-1 overall for Bigfork, as they played Stillwater and took care of business at Stillwater earlier in the season. So Whitefish to serve, number 24, Ansley Scott for the Lady Bulldogs. And we're underway here from Whitefish. Scott's first service. Deep. Off the back, off the hands of Sari, out of bounds and out of play. And a point for Whitefish, 1-0. And Scott will serve again for the Lady Bulldogs. On the way, dug out by Troyer. Linson spiking it down. Is Bigfork spiking it across. Troyer, sorry, getting it across, almost into the net. Is Davey. And 2-0 Whitefish. Serve, dug out by Troyer. Linson just set it up. Piper Lee with a spike. Off the block, falls on the Whitefish side. It'll be side out, point for Bigfork. 2-1 here on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard early in the first. Piper Lee to serve for the Valkyries. Serves deep, jump serve, nice throw right over the middle, dug out by Scott, sets it up. Hartwig with a spike, dug out by Bigfork's left-handed Letwig. Spikes it across, dug out by Whitefish, cross, Linson gets it. Sorry. Piper Lee gets it across for Bigfork, dug out by Zatuni. Bigfork in the net, so point for Whitefish as they spike it down. And it was dug out by the Valkyries, actually. It'll be 3-1 for the Lady Bulldogs here early. Number 4 serving. That's Ridgeway. Off the tip, out of play, off the back line, and point for Whitefish. 4-1. And Miley Ridgeway to serve again for the Lady Bulldogs. Service on the way. Dug out. Davey. Linson. Davey will get it across. Dug out by Zatuni. Cross by Els. Drops on Bigfork side. And point for Whitefish, 5-1 here in the first. Ridgway serving. Service on the way, deep. Dug out by Sari. Linson setting up the left-handed Vic. Vic down the line. The right line in for a point and side out to Bigfork 5-2. Taylor Hallett will come in to serve and replace Natalie Vick. Hallett with a serve, deep. Dug out by Whitefish. Spiking across, number 23, Isabel Hartwig on the set by Scott. So Scott is their setter for the Lady Bulldogs. Side out to Whitefish, 6-2. Service by Mercer. Mercer deep. Linson sets up Ledwig. Ledwig spikes it down at the block. Straight down on the Whitefish side. As dug out by Troyer. Troyer passes to Linson. Sets up Ledwig. Ledwig spikes it down. 6-3 side out to Bigfork. Davey to serve. Davey deep. Just a little bit long. And side out to Whitefish. 7-3 here in the first on your Big Fork Harvest Foods scoreboard. So substitution number 5, I believe in for Whitefish. Not sure. Bailey Kakali. Troyer digs it out. Linson puts it across. Dug out by Whitefish. And diving at the last minute for number 13, Navy Miller. And falls on Whitefish side. Point to Big Fork side out. Troyer to serve. Down 7-4, the Valkyries here in the first. Service. Nice serve right over the middle. Set up by Whitefish, spiking across. Out of play on the spike. There by 15, Bailey Smith. And point for Big Fork, 7-5. Troyer to serve. Deep serve, dug out by Whitefish. Set up. And the spike by Hartwig off of Big Fork, out of play, and side out point to Whitefish, 8-5 here in the first. And number 15, Bailey Smith to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Service. Linson. Sorry, we'll get it across. Dug out by Whitefish. Spiking it. Dug out by Troyer. Sorry. Linson to get it over for Big Fork. Whitefish. Smith gets it. Set up. Ridgway. Spike. Off of Troyer. Goes out of bounds. And .95 Whitefish leads here on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Service. Dug out by Howlett. Linson. Called double hit on Linson. And point for Whitefish, 10-5. 15, Bailey Smith. Still serving for Whitefish, up 10-5. Smith serve deep. Off the hand of Howlett towards the back line. Looks like couldn't decide if it was going to fall in or not last minute. Tried to bump it. 11-5 Whitefish here in the first. Smith. Howlett gets it this time. Linson. Set up. Ava Jo Davies spikes it off the block there by Zatuni and falls on Whitefish side. Point to Big Fork side out. And Natalie Vick will come back in the front line, the lefty, for Howlett. Linson serve. Dug out by Smith. Ridgway, dug out by Big Fork. Spike down. And a nice spike there by Piper Lee, set up by Linson. And the pass from Davey. 11-7. So Whitefish gets out of lead, but Big Fork comes fighting right back. Linson to continue to serve for Big Fork. Linson serve. Deep, dug out there by Smith. Setting it up. Zatuni tips it across off of Piper Lee, out of play. And point side out to Whitefish, 12-7 now. And number 12, Maggie Mercer to serve for Whitefish. Over from the left side, serves it deep. Dug out by Troyer. Linson will bump it up. Sorry, behind the line. Dug out by Zatuni. Set up. Dropping. Piper Lee grabs it. Across by Linson. Nice job. Set up. Spiking it down. Linson digs it out. Sorry gets it across. Whitefish off Troyer. Troyer out of play. Some back and forth action. And point to Whitefish 13-7. And Zatuni will serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Up 13-7 here in the first. Service. That one's way too strong. Way past the end line of the basketball court and out of play. Side out to Bigfork and a point at 13-8. Sorry to serve for the Valkyries. Serves it deep. Dug out by Whitefish. Cross. Linson got across by Davey. And it's going to drop in towards the back line, and diving for it is Sorry. Number 2 in for Bigfork. Cassie Schlitt to help return. Whitefish ball. Scott to serve, up 14-8. Scott service. Troyer. Linson. Davey with a nice spike. That spike cannot be handled by 15. Smith falls on Whitefish side point to Bigfork and side out 14-9. Piper Lee serving for the Valkyries. Deep serve. Hits the end line for an ace for Piper Lee as Whitefish let that one go. And Piper Lee to serve, down by 4. 14-10 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Second serve, dug out by Whitefish. Smith will get it across. Dug it out by Schlitt. Linson, spiked by Lenningham. And the spike falls on Whitefish side, 14-11. So the Valkyries within 3 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard here in the first. And Piper Lee continues to serve for the Valkyries. Lee, nice serve right down the middle, dug out by Smith. Scott crossed by Mercer, set up. Oh, a little bit strong there, but Whitefish plays it by Davey. Dug out by Schlitt. Spiked across by Vic. Lefty dug out on the spike by number 20, Els. And Bigfork cannot dig it out. It falls for a point for Whitefish, 15-11 here on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. Ridgeway serving, dug out by Bigfork. Davey, cross court, drops it on the line. Line judge calls it in. The net judge overrules him and calls it out. So a point for Whitefish, 16-11. Troyer, Schlitt, Lettingham gets it across. Dug out by Scott. Spike, dug out by Schlitt. Linson, spike by Davey, cross court. Off the hands of Whitefish's number 15, Smith, out of play. And point for Bigfork, side out 16-12 now on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. And Howlett to serve as she comes in for Vic. Dug out by Whitefish. Cross. Piper Lee, Linson, Lettingham. Blocked at the net by 23, Hartwig. Side out point to Whitefish. 17-12 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Here in the first. Service by number 12, Mercer. Dug out by Schlitt. Linson, Davey, blocked Dug out by Troyer across. Whitefish coming across. Spikes it out of play over on the far side. And point side out to Bigfork. Sorry will come in for Bigfork. And Ava Joe David is served for the Valkyries, down by 4, 17-13. Davies serve, nice jump serve. Dug out by Ridgway. Scott spiked into the net by Smith. Point for Bigfork, 17-14 now. Deep serve, dug out by Whitefish. Scott, going to get called for the double hit. And another point for Bigfork. And timeout taken by the Lady Bulldogs here in the first. 17-15, Lady Bulldogs lead the Bigfork Valkyries on your Flathead Lake Loud scoreboard. I'll be back after this timeout. Serving, Davy. Nice serve back. Whitefish saves it. Got to get it across. Troyer setting up. Lettingham, double hit there. Going to be called on Linson. I said earlier it was Schlitt is actually Claiborne, Olivia Claiborne in varsity wearing number 2. Thank you. Service, number 5 for Whitefish. Troyer will dig it out. Linson going to set up. Sorry, cross court. Spike is good. Falls in by Gracie Sorry. 18-16, and Troyer to serve for Bigfork. Down by 2. Troyer served. Nice deep in the middle. Dug out. 15, Smith. Whitefish will get across. Troyer. Linson going to set up. Spike. Say it's out of play on the left sideline on the spike by Piper Lee. And side out point to Whitefish. 19-16 here in the first. Service. Howlett. Linson spiking it is Lee. Lee hits the flag, if you will. That means it's out of play. And 20-16. Whitefish leads. Service. Dug out by Howlett. Linson back set. Sorry. Try to toss it across. Sorry digs it out. Drops over the net on the save by Sorry and drops on Whitefish side for a point for Bigfork. And side out 20-17. So a very tense, exciting first best of 5 here. Whitefish will dig it out, set across. Ridgway dug out by Davy. Linson sets up Sorry. Sorry spikes it. Dug out by Whitefish. Ridgway dug out by Troyer. Linson throws it back. Whitefish will dig it out. Okay. Piper Lee puts it back across. Blocked there at the net. Sorry and Lee on the spike by Zatuni. And Bigfork will get the volleyball serving side out 20-18. Linson, nice serve. And put out of play by number 5. Bailey call. It's 20-19. Valkyries within 1 here in the first. Linson, nice serve right down the middle. Dug out there by 15 Smith. Set up. Ridgway. Troyer. Linson. Sorry. Mistimed her jump. Hits it into the net. And side out point for Whitefish. 21-19. Brooks Zatuni to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Service. Sorry digs it out. Gets it across. Spike down there by Ridgway. 22-19, and the Valkyries will take a timeout here in the first. It's 22-19, Whitefish under Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. I'll be back right after this timeout. All right, welcome back to Whitefish. First set, and Whitefish up 22-19 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Zatuni to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Service. Troyer digs it out. Nice dig, Lenson. Lead gets it across. The 5, Spike. Dug out by Troyer. Linson back. Davey all the way to back. Whitefish digs it out. Spike dug out by Davey. Linson saves it. Gets it across. Linson. Or check that. Vic. Spike. Linson will dig it out. Vic. No. Sorry gets it. Or Davey. Across by Lee. Spike the cross. Nice save there by Sorry. Troyer will get it back towards the end lines. And Tooney digs it out. Blackwell. And a double hit by Whitefish. Side out to Bigfork. 22-20. So a crazy first set here. And Gracie Sorry to serve for the Valkyries. Nice serve right down the middle. Dug out by 12 Mercer. Set up. Spike. Dug out by Linson. Cross by Bigfork. Dug out by Smith. Blackwell. Spike. Off the hands of Troyer on the spike by Ridgway. 23-20. And side out to Whitefish. And 24, Scott will come back in for number 13, Navy Miller. And Scott to serve up by 3 here in the first. Scott service deep. Sorry digs it out, gets it across. Ridgway trying to get Sorry. Picks it up. Linson. Tessa Troyer puts it across. Scott. Far side, Spike, dug out by Linson. Sorry will set it up. Cross by Davey. Set it across. Oh. Spikes it into the net. Does Hartwig. Gets a lucky break off the net and falls on Bigfork's side. And point 24-20. And Scott to serve here the first. Scott service. Dug out by Davey. Nice job by Piper Lee on the set by Linson. Finds the back right corner. Side out to Bigfork. 24-21. There is still live Piper Lee to serve. And Lettingham back in the match for Bigfork. For Troyer, the libero. And Piper Lee to serve down by 3. Piper's nice serve. Dugout's going to go out of play on the tip, and a point for Bigfork, 24-22. And timeout taken by Whitefish, their second timeout of the first set, 24-22. Lady Bulldogs lead your Valkyries on your Flathead Lake Loud scoreboard. I'll be right back here from Whitefish, Montana. All right, we're back here in Whitefish. We're still in the first set, best of 5. And 24-22. Valkyries trail by 2. Game point for Whitefish. And Piper Lee serving for the Valkyries. Nice serve. Gets across the net. Set up Smith. Tries to spike it off the hands. Sorry gets it. Linson. Back corner. Dug out by Whitefish. Smith. Or Hartwig. Spiked down by Hartwig. Scott digs it out for Whitefish. Trying to get it across. Sorry. Linson. Back set to Vic. Vic spike. Blocked by Hartwig at the net on Bigfork side. And point, game point, as Whitefish wins the first one. (25-22) on your Flathead Lake Live scoreboard. I'll be back after this timeout with the second in the best of 5 here from Whitefish, Montana. All right, welcome back to Whitefish, Montana. Bigfork with a serve. It'll be Hallett serving for the Valkyries to Whitefish as Hallett serve into the net. And point side out to Whitefish here in the second as Whitefish took the first one, 25-22. And serving is Ansley Scott, number 24 for the Lady Bulldogs. Service, deep, dug out by Howlett, Linson, Troyer from the back line, too long. And point 2-0 on your Bigfork Harvest scoreboard. Whitefish, the Lady Bulldogs lead here in the second. Service, dug out by Sari, Linson, Troyer tries to get it across into the net, and point 3-0. Lady Bulldogs. And Scott serving for Whitefish. Service deep. Sorry digs it out. Linson going to set up. Lettingham with a spike left-handed. Scott, spike there. That one's going to be long by Isabella Hartwig. And side-out point for Bigfork. Ava Joe Davy to serve for the Valkyries. Trailing by 2, 3-1. Davies serve. Nice jump serve. Oh, into the net by Davy. And side out to Whitefish. Number 4, Miley Ridgway to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Service deep. Dugout. Howlett spiking it. Sorry. Dug out by Whitefish. Spike. Too long on the spike there by Scott. And point side out to Bigfork. Troyer to serve. Back in the game. Whitefish digs it out in the net. And spiking it too long. I believe that was Hartwig. Point to Bigfork, 4-3. Troyer, nice serve. Dug out by Whitefish. Hartwig, back set. Troyer tries to dig it out. On the spike by Hartwig. And into the net. Point side out to Whitefish. Piper Lee back in the match for Bigfork. Serving it deep. Number 12, Mercer. And across the end line. And side out to Bigfork point. Piper Linson to serve. Taylor comes out. Natalie Vick back in. Linson. Deep corner serve. Dug out by Whitefish. Hartwig. Ridgway gets it. Set up Linson. Spike by Piper Lee. Dug out by Mercer. Back set Hartwig. Spike with the left hand. Vorzatunian out of play. We're tied at 5. Linson serving for Bigfork. Hartwig setting. Zatuni. And off the fingertips of Bigfork, so point for Whitefish side out. And number 5, Cadence Blackwell will come in for Whitefish to serve. Also, number 13, Navy Miller will come in for Ansley Scott. Teep, long serve by Blackwell. Point to Bigfork, tied at 6, and Sorry to serve for the Valkyries. Dug out by Whitefish, by Mercer. Setting it up. Zatuni blocked at the net. It's Piper Lee along with Ava Joe Davy. And Zatuni's spike is blocked. Point to Bigfork. They lead 7-6. So leading for the first time in this match today. Gracie Sorry serving for the Valkyries. Service, nice, deep corner. Dug out by Mercer. Set up. Nice dig by Troyer, but ball falls across the net after Whitefish digs it out. Falls on Bigfork's side right at the net. And side out point to Whitefish, 7-7. Bailey Smith to serve. 7-7 under Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Troyer tries to dig out the serve by Smith. Goes out of bounds and point to Whitefish, 8-7. I think Bigfork needs this game. Don't want to get Whitefish a 2-0 lead. Smith dug out by Davy. Piper Lee on the spike. Too long. Going from right side to the middle and just past the end line. 9-7 Whitefish as Smith continues to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Service on the way. Davy, Linson, Davy. And hitting it up into the net, into the roof. Blackwell comes back and falls, straight down on the Whitefish side. Point to Bigfork, 9-8, as the Valkyries trail by 1. Service, Piper Lee. Dug out by Whitefish. In across. Sorry. Linson Lenningham spikes it. Blocked by Bigfork. Back across again. Sorry. Off the net. No good. A little bit back and forth action. And point side out to Whitefish. Zatuni to serve as Lady Bulldogs up 10-8 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Zatuni serve. Going to be deep. And side out as Vic will come out and Hallett will come in to serve for the Valkyries. They trail by 1, 9-10. Hallett's deep serve. Dug out by Smith. Blackwell. Blocked! Lettingham and Davey at the net. Block it. And we're tied at 10. Service, Hallett. Nice serve. Right down the middle. Hallett's going to get it as Whitefish gets it back across. Lettingham tips it across. Hallett. Cross. Davey. Spike. Off of Whitefish. They dig it out. Got to get it across. Ridgeway. Davey. Blocked. Davey again puts it across. Back. Dug out by Sorry. Davey will get it across for Bigfork. It drops. It crosses the net. A nice dig there by Tessa Troyer. 11-10. Hallett serves. Smith setting it up. Blackwell. Zatuni. Cross court. Puts it down on the Bigfork side. Point, we're tied at 11. Number 20, Els will come in for Blackwell. And back in is Hartwig to serve. Comes in for Navy Miller. And Scott to serve, Troyer, Linson, Davey on the block. Back on big side by Whitefish. And blocking it is Hartwig. Hartwig at 6 foot even at the net, able to block it. 12-11 was Scott to serve. Scott deep. Set up. Davey blocked, dug out by Troyer. Howlett. Linson will get it across. Diving forward as Whitefish digs it out. It's across. Linson. Howlett across. Dug out by Smith. And spiking into the net. Number 4, Miley Ridgeway on the set by Scott. And side out point for Bigfork. 12-12 here in the second. Ava Doe Davey to serve for Bigfork. Jump serve. Nice right down the line. Hartwig digs it out. Blocked by Hartwig. Spike. Scott gets it across. Linson. Backcourt. Oh, blocked at the net. The spike by Davey. Side out to Whitefish. Going back and forth, 13-12 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. The Lady Bulldogs lead the Valkyries. Service. Got a talk that was clearly in. Falls on Bigfork side between the two folks in the back line. And 14-12 as Ridgeway serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Service deep. Dug out by Howlett. Linson. Sorry. Dug out by Ridgeway. Scott. Spiked. Left hand. Bigfork's going to be in the net. And point to Whitefish. And Ridgeway serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Troyer digs it out. Linson going to set up Sorry. Sorry, spike. Cross court. Returned by Whitefish. Linson. And Howlett get tied up there. Linson digs it out, but drops a side out point for Bigfork. 18-13. They got to get on it right now. Do the Valkyries. Service by Troyer. Nice serve down the middle. Spike there by Hartwig. Dug out by Piper Lee. Across by Sorry. Scott serving it. Left hand. Spiked out of bounds by Els. Point for Bigfork. 18-14. Troyer serve. Back corner. Scott spiking it down the line. Off of Howlett. Out of play. And point side out to Whitefish. 19-14 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Valkyries trail the Lady Bulldogs. Service across. Davey digs it out. Linson. Sorry blocks it. Straight down. Or spike is blocked, by Whitefish. 20-14 here in the second. Service by 12. Davey, blocked. He tries to get it as Linson sets her up at the net. And it's 21-14. The Valkyries trailing by 7 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. And Mercer serving for Whitefish. Serves this one out the right side, out of play. And Natalie Vick will come back in for Howlett in the front line. And Piper Linson to serve for Bigfork here, down by 6. Linson service. Needs to go on a roll. Dug out by Mercer. Tessa Troyer digs it out. Linson going to set up. Sorry, spike. Too long. On a cross-court spark by Gracie Sorry. So side out to Whitefish. And dubs the substitution. Number 13, Miller comes in. Number 5, Blackwell comes in, will serve for Whitefish. They're up by 7, 22-15 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Blackwell serve, deep. Troyer has to get it. Linson, Piper Lee. Dug out by Zatuni. Oh, right into the net. Bailey Smith tries to get it across. Sets it right into the net and side out Bigfork. Gracie Sorry to serve. Sorry serve deep. Out by a few inches there by Gracie Sorry. Side out to Whitefish, 23-16. Here in the second on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Service. Troyer, Linson, Piper Lee on the spike. Able to get it down the line. Past Mercer and point for Bigfork. Lettingham comes in for Troyer. And Piper Lee to serve. Need to go on a run right here as they trail by 6. Here in the second. Nice serve by Piper Lee. Dug out by Whitefish. Blackwell. Ridgeway right in the net. Midway. And a point for Bigfork. 23-18. Piper Lee to serve on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Piper Lee serve back. That's going to be out. Too long. Got to keep it in. Now they're one game point for Whitefish as Troyer comes back to libero. Zatuni to serve. Zatuni serve. Troyer can't handle it. Gets it, spikes it towards the net, and Whitefish takes the second one. 25-18. So an uphill battle for the Valkyries here as they lose the first two. 25-22, 25-18 here in Whitefish. I'll be back here with the third in the best of 5 from Whitefish Montana. All right, back here in Whitefish as the Valkyries trail the Lady Bulldogs 2-0 after 2. As the Lady Bulldogs win the first 2 sets here, we'll head to the third. An uphill battle for Bigfork, but they can do it just like JV did. Sorry, Linson and Lettingham in the front court. In the back court, Davey, Howlett, and the libero, Troyer for Bigfork. And serving, Ansley Scott, number 24 for Whitefish. Service, deep, dug out by Howlett, out of play. Point to Whitefish. And Scott Ansley. Scott will serve again for Whitefish. Scott served deep this time. Howlett handles it. Linson back. Lettingham spike. Out of play down the right line by Sophia Lettingham. And 2-0 Whitefish. Scott service on the way. Troyer handles it this time. Linson back set. Lettingham going to try it again. This time in the middle of the court, drops it down by the left-hander. Lettingham for a point inside out to Bigfork. 2-1 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. And Tessa Troyer, the libero, is serving for Bigfork. Oh, hits the net and drops over for a point. Tied at 2. Troyer, nice deep serve. Dug out by Whitefish. Spike down. And by Linson, and then Whitefish can't handle it to return it. So the Valkyries up 3-2 here in the third. Go to 25. Deep serve. Dug out by Whitefish by Troyer. Scott blocked. And a lift called on Ridgeway, so point to Bigfork 4-2. This one, service just hits the net and drops on Bigfork's side, so side out point for Whitefish here. And Ridgeway to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Ridgeway serve. Drops in front of Davey in the middle of the court, and a point for Whitefish. Tied at 4 now on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. So Ridgeway will continue to serve. This time Davey digs it out, cross, spiked, dug out by Spiking in the net is Piper Lee. And 5-4. Whitefish goes up by 1. Here in the third. Best of 5. Ridgeway dug out by Davey. Linson, Troyer from the back line. Spikes it, dug out by Scott. Over to Els. Crossed by Whitefish. Davey, Linson, spiked. Dug out by Linson on the block. Linson across, dumps it across. Dug out by Whitefish by Ridgeway. Scott tipped across. Dug out by Sari. Linson spiked. Davey from the backcourt, too long. And point 6-4. Whitefish leads here on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. And Ridgeway's serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Service across. Dug out by Howlett. Linson dug out by Davey. Linson gets it, sets it up. Howlett into the net. Blocked. Troyer gets it across. Troyer digs it out. Nice pancake. Across by Davey, saving. Whitefish digs it out. Scott. Els. Linson going to set it up. Spike. Piper Lee's spike is blocked by Zatuni. Along with 15, Smith at the net. Point for Whitefish, 7-4. And Ridgeway continues to serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Service, dug out by Howlett. Linson, Piper Lee, blocked. Off of Lee, save. Davey tries to get it, but Troyer's shot off the basket. It's raised up, and Davey can't handle it. 8-4, Whitefish on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Ridgeway dug out by Davey. Linson. Troyer gets it across. Smith dug out by Troyer. Linson. Sorry gets it across. Back corner. Ridgeway dug out by Linson, sets it up. Spiked in the net. Does Piper Lee. As Troyer dug it out, passed it to Linson. Linson set up Lee. Lee can't get it across. 9-4. The Lady Bulldogs lead here. Ridgeway dug out by Troyer. Linson. Sorry gets it across. Dug out by Mercer. Spiked. And jumping and missing it is Smith. Side out point to Bigfork. Vic comes back in. Front line, the lefty for Howlett. Piper Linson to serve. 9-5. Spike blocked there by Bigfork. In the middle, Piper Lee and Sari. Blocked again by Sari. On the spike by Whitefish. Linson going to set it up. Sari gets it across. Blocked, but saved by Whitefish. Ridgeway tries to get across on the pass from Scott and in the net. Point for Bigfork, 9-6. Bigfork needs to go on a run here. Linson serving. Deep, dug out by Mercer. Spike by 15. Smith off the Natalie Vick block, falls on Bigfork side, and a point for Whitefish, 10-6. Serving number 12, Maggie Mercer for Whitefish. Serves it. Troyer, Linson into the net, out of play by Troyer, and Linson can't get to it. 11-6 Whitefish. Mercer, the libero, serves. Troyer digs it out. Linson. Spike by Piper Lee. Dug out by Whitefish. Spike. Off the hands of Sari. Goes over the net, but out of play on the Whitefish side. And point for Whitefish. 12-6 here in the third. and Bigfork will take a timeout here. And I'll be back after this timeout here as they trail Twix 12-6 in the third on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Back in Whitefish, 12-6. They leave here in the third, won the first two. And Mercer serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Spike, blocked by Whitefish, but off of Piper Lee's hands. And it goes out of play, so she tries to return it. And 13-6 here in the third. Whitefish won the first two on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Mercer serve. Linson, left-handed Vic. Calls it in on the Vic spike, cross court. Point for Bigfork, 13-7. Serving. Spike. Whitefish in the net on that one. It'll be a point for Bigfork, 13-8 now here on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard. Serving for the Valkyries. Smith going to set it up. Spikes it. Piper Lee off the tip. Out of play. Off Whitefish. And point for Bigfork. It's 13-9. So fighting back are the Valkyries. Down by 4. And serving. Service is deep. Dug out by Mercer. Smith spike off the block of Piper Lee, but goes out of bounds on the Whitefish side. So point for for Whitefish, 14-9. And number 5, Blackwell, will come in and serve for Whitefish. Service, deep. Tested Troyer, dug out by Davey. Crossed by Vic. Dug out by Whitefish. Blackwell. Smith will get it across. Davey, set up by Linson down the line. Dug out by Whitefish. Hartwig off the block. Hartwig's spike off of Sari. And a point for Whitefish. 15-9 now. Here in the third. Blackwell to serve. Dug out by Davey. Linson. Spike by Vic. Dug out by Davey. Linson back set. Piper Lee gets it across. Dug out by Whitefish's Ridgeway. And a double hit by Whitefish. And it'll be point side out to Bigfork. 15-10. Lettingham back in for the libero. Tessa Troyer. Service by Piper Lee. And an ace service right down the middle as Ridgeway can't handle it. And Piper Lee to serve. 15-11 now on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard here in the third. Too strong by Piper Lee. And Troyer will come in for her in the back line for the Valkyries. Service. And Smith. Bailey Smith will serve into the net for Whitefish, so right back to Bigfork on the side out. And Hallett will come in for Vic, and Hallett to serve. Jump serve down the middle. Right across to Bigfork. Lettingham puts it across for the Valkyries. Blackwell spiking. Hartwig off the block of Bigfork and out of play. but point to Whitefish on the side out, 17-12. Zatuni to serve. For the Lady Bulldogs, Zatuni. Dug out by Troyer. Linson. Howlett gets it across. Ridgway. Crossed by Hartwig. Sorry. Linson setting up. Ava Davey. Ava Davey spike. Out of play. A point for Whitefish, 18-12 here in the third. Zatuni serving. Service. Sorry. Tessa Troyer gets it back across and set by Linson. Blackwell will set up Ridgway. Ridgway spike, dug out by Sorry. Linson puts it across. Dug out by Blackwell. And going to call a lift there on 13. Navy Miller. Zatuni will come out. For Whitefish, Davey to serve. Just a little bit long by Ava Jo Davey. And point side out to Whitefish, 19-13 on the Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. Scott to serve. Davey. Linson Lettingham spikes it down the line and good by Sophia Lettingham. Inside out to Bigfork and a point, 19-14. They're down by 5. Need to go on a roll. Got to get to 25 before Whitefish or this is over. Here in the third as they lost the first 2. Troyer to serve for the Valkyries. Dug out by Whitefish. Out of play. They can't get it across. Els hits it and Mercer can't save it. Point for Bigfork, 19-15. Whitefish leads. Troyer dug out by Whitefish. Back set. And Bigfork in the net on the spike by Ridgway. So a point side out to Whitefish. And Ridgway to serve, I believe, for the Valkyries. For the Whitefish Lady Bulldogs. Howlett dug out by Tessa Troyer. Gets it across. Dug out by Mercer. Spike by Hartwig. Down the middle past Howlett. And a point for Whitefish, 21-15. As Ridgway will serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Deep dug out by Davey. Linson, sorry on the spike. Dug out by Ridgway. Tessa Troyer. Linson going to set up. Sorry. Dug out by Ridgway. Scott, spike. Down the line by number 15, Smith. Off the hand of Howlett. And point for Whitefish, 22-15. Ridgway serve. Deep dug out by Davey. Linson, spike. Blocked. Piper Lee's blocked. And blocked again by Whitefish. Drops on Bigfork side. Down by 8, 23-15 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Ridgway to serve. Deep dug out by Howlett. Linson. Piper Lee down the line. Dug out by Scott. Spike. Dug out. Nice on the Smith spike. Dug out by Howlett. Out of play. 24-15 Valkyries. So game point and set point for Whitefish. Linson going to set up. Sorry. Down the line. Whitefish can't handle it. Oh! And 4 hits. So point side out to Bigfork. Vic will come in for Howlett. 24-16. Linson to serve here in the third. Linson serve along the way. Dugout. Scott setting it up. Hartwig gets it across. Linson going to set up Piper Lee. No. Sorry, gets it across. Spike. Dugout by Linson. Hartwig swing and a miss at the net. Falls on Whitefish side. So Bigfork still with an opportunity. 24-17 on your Flathead Lake Lodge scoreboard here in the third. Linson serve down the middle. Brought out by Mercer. Back set. Spike left-handed. Out of play. Oh, the lefty Haley Ells. And Linson serving. Valkyries holding bomb by a thread. Linson serve deep. Dug out by Mercer. Down the line. Linson. Thursday is their next match. Yes, they'll play Polson at home for volleyball. 4:15 gets underway with freshman JV at 5:45 and varsity about 7:15 at home next Thursday. Friday, Viking football on the road at Frenchtown. And then volleyball, the girls will be in Browning. 1 o'clock, 2:30, and 4 o'clock for the Browning, and I'll be broadcasting from Browning as well. So this is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vows from Whitefish, Montana, as the Valkyries take this one on the chin. 3-0 to Whitefish, the Lady Bulldogs. 25-22, 25-18, and 25-19. That is your final here. Thanks for listening, tuning in. Thanks to my sponsors. As always, Montana Athletic Club, Bigfork Harvest Foods, Flathead Lake Lodge. I will catch you later here on the broadcast when our next match, either football or volleyball, is on the road. Otherwise, I will see you at home Friday night as the Vikings take on the Loggers, and then Saturday in soccer. Thank you and good night wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in and listening.